So when teaching a puppy a trick, which is a behavior, when teaching a puppy a behavior, sometimes you have to break it down into small steps. So she's not just laying down when I hold the treat on the ground. So I'm giving her a treat if she'll just bend her body to the ground. She doesn't have to lay all the way down, but if she'll bend her body to the ground, then I'll give her a treat. And that's an uncomfortable position to be in. So I know that after she does that a few times, that she'll lay down, because that's an uncomfortable position to be in. So she got a lot of treats because I need her to know that the behavior of laying down is valuable. Now, to get a puppy to roll over, you have to make sure you ask them to roll in the direction their kickstands are not out. So we're just going to give her a second. There, she laid down pretty good there. So she still doesn't quite understand that laying down is the reason she got the treat. She doesn't quite understand that yet, but she'll get it. So we're just going to watch her. We're just going to observe her. And she has great focus. There, she decided to sit down. The treats weren't coming, so she decided to modify her behavior to see if she could get the treats flowing again. So now I'm back to having to give her a treat just for bending in an uncomfortable position. And like I said, here she goes. She's going to lay down here in just a second. And then the treats are going to flow. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, and she's too close to the coffee table to get her to roll over. So I'm going to just try to lure her into a crawl. Oh, she stood up, and that's okay. So I need her to think about it. There we go. And she thought about it. There was no cues. Because there's a difference between sitting on command and sitting because it's a behavior. So right now, she basically has a kickstand out on the right side of her body. So I'm going to see if that stays the same when she lays down. We're going to get her to lay. She's got to settle entirely. Let's see if she, that's what I thought she was going to do. She looked like she wasn't understanding it, and she was going to stand back up. And that's okay. They sure don't do it perfectly. They aren't perfect. We're just teaching them to communicate and teaching them to look for the solution to the problem. They want the treat. What behavior? She did not get a treat for that behavior. She'll get a treat for that behavior. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity and lure her with her treat. Good girl. She didn't roll over, but she laid on her side. So when you're teaching puppies things, you have to break them down into smaller pieces. So don't expect an entire rollover before you give them a treat. You may never get the rollover. You may never get it. You have to break it down into smaller pieces. Just like when I'm teaching them to follow a treat. I'm going to give a treat at a quarter of a turn or even an eighth of a turn. Don't ask for the whole spin. See, she's not even giving me an eighth of a turn. She doesn't quite know what's going on here. But that was a try. She followed the treat a little bit. We didn't get a spin out of the deal, but you want to reward the smallest try or the slightest change. And there's a lot of people out there that'll say that I don't do it perfectly, but praise God, we raise poodles. You don't have to do it perfectly. They're smart enough to give you good results without perfection. My puppies will sure take a free treat. They know that sound. Good, there we go. There we go. That paid off big. Okay. Good girl. And people may think, wow, this is pointless, but really it's like letting a kindergarten color. It doesn't look like it's accomplishing anything, but it sure is maturing their brain. And we saved that one, didn't we? Okay, well that's Holly.